It is now 7.
Okay, folks, yeah, it's actually a little bit after 7. It's 7:01, I'm a minute late. So, okay, November KY-QRP meeting, and generally when we have a small group like this, sometimes I'll be daring and unafraid, and I'll introduce y'all.
Oh, let's see.
So TK is going to light right there, so I'm going to start with our videographer, who is Brad, WA4HBM.
I'm here.
TK Tim, KF4MPM, James, WA9MED, Bob, AF4OI, Loretta, call sign to be determined, Roger, KJ4YSY, and our new member is John, Kilo November 4 Hotel Echo Charlie. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Okay. And Bart, KB4FEE, who was here about a year before I could ever remember his name and call sign. Okay. First of all, I know we have at least one brand new licensee, and so congratulations, John. And you've got your general as of right now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you took your tech, and then you went back another time and took your general. Is that right?
2 weeks later, yeah, took the general.
I had the pleasure of having John over at my house, and of course I told him, I said, now you don't need all this equipment just to be a ham, you know. But,
Walked in and said, holy crap.
and how have you had a chance to mess with your bow things?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Talked to a couple people,
Mhm.
not
Okay.
much yet. I'm waiting for a shipment from
Uh-oh.
KY-QRP to come in.
Oh, okay. He said, uh-oh.
Don't tell my wife.
That's right. You got that, and then you can hide the credit card bill when it comes in. Okay. So good deal. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
KY-QRP, I actually have a little handout right here. I should have gotten that. You're the first newcomer that we've had in a while.
All right.
We're a special interest group within BARS. You don't have to be a BARS member to be a member of KY-QRP. But we're, no rules, no constitution, no officers, no dues, no anything. And QRP is basically 5 watts or less, particularly on the HF bands. So what you're going to hear people talk about is kits that they've built, operating that they've done, contacts that they've made at 5 watts or less. This gives you a little bit of a rundown, and since 2011, since about the middle of 2011, I've been standing up here kind of running the meetings, but this is my second to last time of doing that. So after the first of the year, somebody's going to step up, or y'all just meet and talk amongst yourselves or whatever, but after 6.5 years, I'm giving it up. So, but anyhow, congratulations on the ticket and so forth. November birthdays. Anybody? Okay. Upgrades. Anybody upgrade a license?
Have to be commercial.
Hmm?
I'd have to go commercial.
I was sorry that they got rid of most of that stuff, because being retired now, I'd go get a third and then a second and then a first, I guess. Can you still? Is there somebody a place where you can still get like a first class commercial, or does it just not exist anymore?
I think it's just basic, just a commercial, and then you can get either a radar
Radar
endorsement or yeah, I think that's the extra endorsement, is like the radar. And I got a book, and I started looking over it. It's very, very similar to the extra.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you got to learn some of the additional rules for, like, especially the nautical type communications.
Yeah, the places where you
And
still
then it's
have
like
to
the
have-
old days where you have to jump in a car and drive pretty good distance to find a testing center.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to actually
Yeah.
get a test, but.
Okay, how about sick bay? Anybody that you know of that's not feeling well? Do we know what happened to the Dawsons? No? Okay.
No, I've not,
You haven't heard anything?
uh-uh.
Look out the door there and see if maybe they're a little late. Maybe they're just down there at Cracker Barrel still eating, who knows? Okay, for our,
Bill Fuquay recently had a hip replacement.
yeah, and he walks in, we're at Captain D's, and in he walks. And I said,
Yeah,
that's the
Must be
That's
some-
the fastest recovery from a hip
good
replacement.
drugs.
He says, what hip replacement? He feels so good, it's almost like he didn't do it.
Like you got
So-
a bionic hip. huh?
he said he thought this is a lot less painful than the
Mhm.
last time. And he thought, he kind of alluded to the fact that he thought the doctor had cut a few nerves in there to kill the pain. So that he didn't have the pain.
Yeah.
Here he comes back.
Yeah, there
Running
he
in
is. You were just listed as being in sick bay, and I said, no, he's not.
I'm even walking.
Without a limb.
Did you get the bionic hip?
I don't know what I got, it's working awfully good. Having surgery only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It took me 2 months to get over it before.
Wow.
Okay, for our November luncheon, since we do it on Thursdays, we don't have too many choices in November because the 23rd is Thanksgiving.
That's right.
We could do it on the 30th, but actually the December meeting is December the 4th. So I would lean towards December the 16th.
For luncheon, you mean?
Yes. Does that work for
That
you all?
works with me. Oh, I know.
Okay, well, that's what we'll do. It'd be nice if we knew whether or not the Dawsons could make it, but we really don't have that many choices in November, so.
Well, just have to have it done, you know, either they come or they don't. That's
Okay.
about all you can
And
do.
being an odd numbered month, we'll be at the Frisch's on Harrodsburg Road.
Put you over next to Tina.
All righty.
It'll be fine.
So,
That'd be on the table.
so now the question becomes is what if anything has anybody been doing QRP wise, whether late season field work or how about, well, let's start with that late season field work. Roger, have you been out? I know you had your trip up to the mountains, but,
We haven't been out, since
Okay.
not outdoors,
okay.
but we've been building kits.
Okay.
David, Glenn, and I
Mm-hmm.
met at David's house last Saturday, and we've all got BidX radios. But David has been a little short on experience on soldering and putting the kits together. So we all ordered the little Pixie radio kits.
Okay.
And we practiced last Saturday, putting the kits together and so forth. I got mine put together, but I didn't get to test it. I don't have the power plug and the phone plug and things like that put on it yet because I want to mount it. The rest of the day was spent pretty well of helping David out. Getting him a little program on his phone where he could identify resistors and showing him how to separate his parts before he starts so he can put it together. And a lot of time was spent with David rather than being Glenn putting our kits together.
Okay, trying to bring somebody
But
along.
we got
sure.
him in pretty good, pretty good shape now, and I was hoping he would be here tonight. I was kinda anxious to see.
Mhm.
He had a real good start on his kit when I left. And, I was hoping to, hear a good report.
Mhm.
And I've been out of town, so, I've not got the chance to talk to him since Saturday.
Mhm.
So that's what we do. We'll test it out. The little kits that you get from Pixie, the little Pixie kits that we get. I got mine from Banggood, $1.65.
Wow.
That's because I ordered 3 of them.
Well, I told him I would just have $2 to spend.
But, they got way more than $1. If you don't order 3, they're $1.86. But, you can, they are adjustable just enough that you can get over into the general. I can get 7.026 out of it. But it does have a little adjustable resistor in there that you can break it over the 7.025. And it's just enough. And I'm not sure, can novice, is that frequency open for novice also?
I don't know. Do you, Bob? Do you know, Bob?
I think that the extra is at the top, is it?
Right, it's for the
Seven
beginning.
7,725.
Everybody else is in,
Okay.
lumped together as far
It
as.
starts at 025.
As far as I
Yeah,
can remember.
On CW.
that's what yeah, on CW. Yeah, so we're kind of anxious to get them, one person in each room and transmit to each other. They do put out, I think it's 200 milliwatts. So it's not, you wouldn't want to push it though, I'm sure it's not a real clean signal. So I wouldn't want to push it too much.
Okay, well, while you have the floor, anything else to report along kids, antennas,
No,
rigs,
that's about all we got.
interesting QSOs?
David has got a new antenna we're trying to get up
Okay.
before the cold weather sets in. I'm not too sure exactly what it is. I think it's a trap dipole.
Okay.
And I need to get my 80-meter antenna up before it turns too cold. So I'll do that in the next few days. And unfortunately, I lay my 80-meter antenna on the back fence. Doesn't do real well, doesn't do real bad. Kind of amazed for 200 or 300 miles. You know, that's decent for 80 meters anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Make you plenty of contacts with that.
Well, yeah, that's a NVIS antenna, near vertical incident skywave, so. Okay, do you want to tell us about what you've been doing with your, speaking of buying cheap stuff from China, the problem that you had with your Argonaut 505 and what you've been doing and along those lines?
I have an Argonaut 505 that I bought new back in the 70s. It's been sitting in my basement for decades, and got it out to try to mess with it, and the audio didn't work. And come to find out that it uses two germanium transistors that are hard to come by to fix it. But a lot of other people have had the same problem, so I decided to buy, probably from Banggood, 4 little audio amplifiers, put out about a watt, and I'm planning on replacing the transistor version with one of those audio amplifiers, but it's got an IC in it. So that's what I've been working on now, trying to get that little Argonaut back up and running.
Okay, good deal. Anything else from you for QRP stuff?
Well, you and I are working on a little project there with the Argonauts too. He has a 509, I've got a 505.
I got a 509 where I knocked the dial off when I was dusting one day, so I got to get that fixed.
Yeah, we're going to replace the dial cords in those little radios to get it going. That's it.
I'm never going to dust around my shack ever again.
Well, next time, don't use a hammer.
or a shop vac. If I'd used a shop vac, it would have just sucked the whole dial pointer and everything right out. Yeah. Bob, why don't you tell us what you've been up to here lately? I know you've been on just about every sprint, NAQCC sprint lately.
I think since our last meeting, I participated in the sprint with the North American QRP CW Club, and also the week-long anniversary of that club where they have stations, operators all over the United States, and the objective is to make contact with one in each district, or one in each region,
Right.
which is fun.
N1A, N2A, N3A, N4A.
It was kind of a challenge, it was fun.
Mhm.
For the folks that have never done that before, it's kind of like a fox hunt where you gotta figure out, you gotta look, the spots on where these guys are gonna be, what time, what frequency they're gonna be on, and you do that all week long to try to make contact with each guy. And there's 10 of them scattered all around, and around the U.S., and it's kind of fun. So those two events, what I participated in, all QRP.
Any antenna, kit building or anything like that?
No, I think I had my 80-meter antenna, wire antenna up, and that's really all I can put up. And my wife won't let me put anything else up. But no, I haven't done any more building or anything.
All right.
So it's,
Yeah, I've operated the North American QRP CW Club Sprint, I think every single month for about the last 5 or 6 years. And only once before did I ever work another station in Kentucky. And then a few months back, here comes AF4OI. And I think, if I remember correctly, you had that, I think that night you had twice as many QSOs as I did, and then the next month I had twice as many as you did, and I think the most recent one I had twice as many as you did. So I'm not planning on letting you embarrass me again, but that's what testing is all about. So. That was really good to hear you in there every Tuesday and Wednesday night. You know, second Tuesday in odd numbered months, and third Wednesday in even numbered. No, third Wednesday in odd numbered months, and second Tuesday in even numbered months.
these are good sprints. They're, from 8:30
to 10:30, whatever the local time is.
Yeah,
they
2
adjust it.
hours, and everybody's either running a straight key or a bug or something.
Yeah.
And it's real relaxed.
They have three different categories: straight key, bug, and then keyer or computer keyboard. And there's plenty of activity. If you decide to get into it, what you'll find is that there's plenty of people to work. It's 80, 40, and 20 meters only. And of course, there's a sort of a specified range where everybody tries to hang out. And I don't know, like in your case, but I don't try 20 at all. But and then 40 is I think 40 is kind of the bread and butter band for it. But in the summer, it's like 8:30 is too early for 40 meters, and you've got thunderstorm static on 80 anyway. So this time of year, I'll start spending a lot of time on 80 if it's good, and but 40 is kind of the bread and butter band. Is that kind of the way you approach it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a good group. And
And
there's like 200 guys all across the United States get on the radio and start making contacts.
And the main thing is
basically they take the whole band, the frequency range you're operating, they take everybody's there.
It's not real, and it's not real high speed. The standard run-of-the-mill CW contest, you'll have people running 30, 40, 50 words per minute, and some running slower. But this is pretty much all slow. You will get some people that park on a frequency and call CQ, and they'll be running faster than what a lot of people are comfortable with.
Because they're trying to beat everybody else.
Yeah. In fact, I not to get on my soapbox, but really even in the big contests, Bob, like sweepstakes and some of the others, I think a lot of people actually go too fast because there's a lot of people won't, they're too fast for a lot of people, therefore there's a lot of contacts they don't make. And so I think a lot of the ones that go really fast really ought to think about slowing down. So, yeah. Okay, I always put the newbies on the spot just to tell us about, you know, what you're doing as far as getting started and stuff like that. I know you've got your HTs that you're working with. Have you given any thought to like an HF station or anything like that?
I've got a radio coming in.
Okay.
I don't have the specs on it right now, so fairly broad spectrum transceiver.
Mm-hmm.
Working right now trying to figure out antenna issues. I'm in a deed restricted neighborhood, so they say everything's supposed to be inside. I'm gonna try to sneak 2 of them outside.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 2 big trees in the backyard, so I'm gonna try to put up a probably 40-meter antenna out there. I've got one coming that it's the drops at the end, whatever they call it.
Going inverted V.
Yeah, it goes from the antenna point. It just goes one way.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
it's just dropping from the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
So I'm gonna try to get that up outside, and I've got a small UHF antenna I'm gonna try to get up probably Thursday outdoors, and it's just something pretty small to try to keep it hidden from the neighborhood. I do have a pretty big attic that has very little access to it. It's got a drop down out in the garage. I've got a guy coming tomorrow. I think I'm gonna have him go up there and lay me some plywood in 2 different directions, and I may try to put something up there and give that a try if I can, because I've got plenty of height and I've got actually plenty of diagonal distance up there. So, and in both places, out where the trees are and in the attic, I've got good places where I could drop it down. So I'm trying to figure out grounding issues, ground rods, and a little device on there for lightning protection, and then trying to figure out how to get it in the house itself. It's down the basement, sitting on a slab. So I'm probably going to go in the window. So I ordered a little plastic slider with a couple of pass-throughs in there to bring it in. So I'm going to probably take whatever's in the attic and bring it down and go through one pass-through. I'm going to take whatever's in the backyard, put it on an antenna switch, a remote switch, and bring it in on the other pass-through. So I'm just kind of working through.
Make real good progress. Real good progress. Good deal. Yeah, what you can do is when you get that HF radio, is one of the things you can adjust on it is the power, and so if you turn it down to 5 watts, your QRP, presto. In fact, I've got a lot of QRP radios that 5 watts is all they're capable of. Okay, but like Bob and I were talking about the NAQCC Sprint. For that, basically, I use a Yaesu FT950, which is a standard 100-watt radio turned down to 5 watts. And then I get the good quality receiver and so forth and so on. So okay. Well, we got about 5 minutes before Smokey takes over with the bars meeting. So anybody that I didn't get to that, yes, for QRP stuff.
Yeah, got a QRP rig here.
Excellent. Can people come up and have a look?
Yeah, this is a spy radio. I've had it for about 20 years, and I've never got around to replacing the tubes and the receiver. Someone figured it took 6.3 volts on the filaments, and it was 1.0. Not all the tubes and the receiver. There's some miniature tubes. But this, you ever heard of a ANGRC 109?
I have not.
When you called me, that's the first I'd ever heard of it.
Okay, well, the ANGRC 109 was the one the CIA used in Special Forces in early Vietnam. And its box is about like this. 4 different boxes of power supplies, real big thing. Well, this was the upgrade from that one, and this is called an RS6. And that's the receiver. Here's the power supply, which will take anything from 6 volts, and AC voltage from 70 to 100, to 270 volts. There's a power distribution filter regulator box that connects them all, and this is the transmitter. The transmitter has a little key that pops out.
Excellent.
And the transmitter has conventional tubes in it, a 685 and a 2E26. It's about 10 watts, 10 watts out, CW. The only thing that's missing from this is what's called the code burst keyer. Those were supposed to be destroyed instead of sent out because they were used at encryption and stuff. But in any case, I just realized at the QRP meeting I had this entire
Yeah. We didn't have show and tell without that, so I appreciate it.
And the story goes that each one of these little boxes was designed and so that it would fit, each one would fit into a pocket of a trench coat. Spy stuff.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, one last real quick call. It's 7:27 or so already. So hit the button, Mr. James. Another one's in the book. Thank you all. See some of you December.